everyone, this is Princess Embla Nipa, the little teacher of Study Hub number 3. So for today, we are tasked to identify briefly each of the learning principles. According to Sigmund Freud, human personality is complex and has more than a single component. In his famous psychoanalytic theory, Freud states that personality is composed of three elements known as the id, the ego, and the superego. These elements work together to create complex human behaviors. Each component adds its own unique contribution to personality, and the three interact in ways that have a powerful influence on an individual. Each element of personality emerge at different points in life. Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development suggests that children move through four different stages of mental development. His theory focuses not only on understanding how children acquire knowledge, but also on understanding the nature of intelligence. Piaget's belief that children take an active role in the learning process, acting much like little scientists as they perform experiments, make observations, and learn about the world. As kids interact with the world around them, they continually add new knowledge, build upon existing knowledge, and adapt previously held ideas to accommodate new information. Erickson believed that learning to control one's bodily function leads to a feeling of control and a sense of independence. Other important events includes gaining more control over food choices, toy preferences, and clothing selection. Children who struggle and who are shamed for their accidents may be left without a sense of personal control. Success during this stage of psychosocial development leads to a feeling of autonomy. Failure results in feeling of shame and doubt. Children who successfully complete those stages feel secure and confident, while those who do not are left with a sense of inadequacy and self-doubt. Erickson believed that achieving a balance between autonomy and shame and doubt would lead to will, which is believed that children can act with intention within a reason and limits.
Good day everyone! For today's video, I will going to explain briefly the two theories, which is ecological system theory and socio-cultural theory. Socio-cultural theory, a child can learn many things without society like language skills. They need to be people to learn how to use language. Individual persistence can help the person acquire new skills and knowledge. Ecological system theory. Bronfenbrenner believed that a person's development was affected by everything in their surroundings environment. Hello everyone, for today's video I will going to explain briefly the theories of Edward Thorndike. Edward Thorndike developed the first three laws of learning: readiness, exercise, and effect. He set also the law of effect, which means that any behavior that is followed by pleasant consequences is likely to be repeated, and any behavior followed by an unpleasant consequences is likely to be avoided.
Task 11. Explain briefly each of the learning principle. 3 to 6 sentences only. Classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is a form of learning whereby a conditioned stimulus CS becomes associated with an unrelated unconditioned stimulus US in order to produce a behavioral response known as conditioned response CR. The conditioned response is the learned response to previously neutral stimulus. And the second is operant conditioning. Operant conditioning, also known as instrumental conditioning, is a method of learning normally attributed to B.F. Skinner. Believe that we do have such a thing as a mind, but that is simply more productive to study observable behavior rather than internal mental events.
So as I research about uh, the learning principles on my topic, which is the multiple intelligence theory by Howard Gardner. Um, we have the repetition. An important principle of the learning is to provide the learner with the opportunity for practice and repetition to gain the full benefit of training. Learned behaviors must be overlearned to ensure smooth performance and minimum of forgetting and later date. So, we have there, and also dito sa Metacognitive by John Frabel, and also the Laws of Learning by Edward Thorndike. We have also the relevance. I can give the relevance, which is the learning is helped when the material to be learned is meaningful. The learning should be problem-centered rather than content-centered. So, sa kabila, the Laws of Learning by Edward Thorndike, we have also the feedback. Feedback gives learners information on their progresses. Performance feedback is necessary, prescribed for learning. Feedback improves performance not only by helping learners correct their mistakes, but also providing reinforcement for learning. We also have the learning principle, which is the learners at the center. Create an environment that recognizes learners as course participant. Create a learning environment that encourages active engagement to help students develop an understanding of their own activity as learners. When learners have the power to act in the learning process, they become agents of their own learning. So magkakaroon sila ng sarili nilang investigasyon, like for example, this type of task that Coach Jude has been given us. So, dito sa learners at the center kasi, when the learners have the power to act in the learning process, they become agents of their own learning. Parang kami na rin yung matututo sa aming pinagsasabi dito or sa aming nire-report.
Our references is Google. The link is verywellmind.com.